Okay, let's move on now to Texas and the U.S. Justice Department, which, the U.S. Justice Department can put one notch in their belt as a victory as they've been challenging these new voter ID laws that are sweeping across the country. There's something like 19 states that have them. But so in the case of Texas, now we're talking about that new voter ID law being knocked down. So is it likely, Richard, that the other cases just might follow suit? There are some precedents now that perhaps this is not a case in which there are a rash of fraudulent voters who are trying to cast a ballot, because the Justice Department and others have already determined that there is not, there isn't a pattern of a great litany of fraudulent cases.
Right. I mean, do the ends justify the means? Are these laws required to cure some far-reaching problem we have with voter fraud? But the answer here is no, they don't. And you'll wonder why in the great state of Texas, no Democrat has won a statewide election in the last 10 years. It's because the Republican-controlled legislature does things like this. I mean, this was clearly, as the court held, a discriminatory intent involved in doing this, Fred.
In large part because many people, there's a large number of people in this jurisdiction, in particular in Texas, that don't have those government-issued IDs, and that's what it was requiring. They don't have cars, they don't have driver's license, and so they wouldn't be able to produce these documents. South Carolina has a case that might be the next one in line. It, too, is covered jurisdiction under the Voting Rights Act, just similar to Texas. And the argument there is that they're requiring people to have one of the 5 state-issued IDs, but the law apparently has to be pre-approved. And what does that mean exactly? A law would have to be pre-approved before it would be able to go forward, Richard?
Exactly. If you want to have redistricting maps, or you want to go into requiring some sort of identification, it doesn't have to be a driver's license, Fred. And that's what happened in Texas. They proposed alternatives, other types of identification, which the legislature just knocked down in amendments. But they have to go to D.C. to get approval because this violates the Voting Rights Act. They want to make sure it's fair, that the elections are fair. And what we're assuming here is that who are being disproportionately affected here, it's the poor, and they're assuming the poor will vote Democratic. So that's the rationale behind all this. And I think they're going to continue to fall when states act in this manner.
All right. Richard Herman, Avery Freeman. Yeah. Go ahead.
The Supreme Court's not going to take the case. That's very important. Elections 2 months away, those cases will stand. Very, very important.
All right. Thanks so much, gentlemen.
I disagree. Fred, I think the Supreme Court's going to take this case. They're going to take the case, not in the next 3 months, but they're going to take the case. And Fred, our old friend TJ used to hit you every day with your tweets. So be careful now. You may not own those tweets, Fred.
I know. The pressure of the tweets, I tell you, it's enormous.
There you go. I told you, privacy, guys. Stop tweeting, that's all.
What is it? At Frederica. Let's hear it.
What is it again? No, it's at F. Whitfield. Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me. I gotta get used to it still. Isn't that pitiful? All right, what can I say? I am just way too private for TV. All right, Avery and Richard, thanks so much. Good to see you guys. And thanks for coming in this holiday weekend. Have a great rest of the holiday weekend.
Likewise.
Appreciate it.
You as well, Fred.
All right, thanks so much.